Hi everyone, welcome back to Power Tips. Today, Heidi and I are here to talk about Express Design. So this is a really cool new feature that was announced at Build, and you might have seen the blog that looks something like this. So that was just announced a few weeks ago from when we're recording this, and Heidi's been playing about with it. So we wanted to talk about it and do a quick little demo and see how it goes. So let me give you a quick overview of the features. Basically, the idea is that I can draw a app like on a piece of paper or using another tool like Figma. We heard a lot of talk about Figma at Build. And I can draw this or PowerPoint, some other things, right? I'm going to draw it and then I take a picture of it and then AI is going to magically turn this into an app, right? And so it's going to build kind of the starting point for the app that you're trying to build. What's interesting is that, or what they kind of talk about here, is all these features that we already have in Power Apps are still going to be part of these new apps from an image, right? So once we get it figured out, we can add more pages, we can connect to different data sources using connectors and adjust the model as we need. So it's super cool and really exciting, and I'm excited to see how it works. So Heidi, why don't you tell us what happened with you testing this out so far?
Okay, thanks, Kylie. So like Kylie said, this was announced on May 24th. On May 25th, I was so excited and I thought, time to dive in and test this out because it sounds amazing, but I found that it wasn't without its problems when I tried it. So these are just some fun screenshots of the error messages that I got, the failures that I had, and the two pictures that I drew. Now, I was just trying to create like a fun little thing. My cat and my dog were sitting near me. So I thought pet app and let's just play and have fun. So these are the two images I tried. I thought maybe this first one was the one on the lined paper, which I still have here. And I thought that maybe it's the background of that picture that was the problem. So I did it again and I still hit the same failure. So I didn't know what was wrong. I was frustrated. And in the magic of social media, the Microsoft team reached out to me to troubleshoot live. I'm calling them Team Awesome, right? So Team Awesome and I get on the phone this week and they found my problem. So we did a lot of live troubleshooting and it was really cool and it was really awesome. And what we found was they have a hidden requirement that isn't clearly disclosed in any of their documentation that you need to use an image that's 4 megabytes or less. Well, I don't know about you, but when I take a picture with my phone, it's never 4 megabytes or less. It does high res. So the answer there was just to take a screenshot of my picture and upload it, which brings us very quickly to today's Power Tip session. Thought it would be great now that we understand the problem to build this live. And we haven't tried this yet, and we don't know how it's going to go. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So the first place you go is make.powerapps.com, right? And I'm in a trial environment, and we're going to play around with this image. And obviously it's in preview. So this is just to play. It's just getting started. As we know, there are some problems. So here's our tips, right? There's great recommendations. Use a clearly legible form. This can only work with a one-page form. I mean, how would a picture know that it's multiple pages? Use forms with a light background color. It's not recommended to use lined paper. Don't use complex forms. Don't use forms with colored backgrounds. Nothing with underlying input boxes and no multi-page. So it gives you a couple options of things that won't work well. So we're going to go to next. And we will try Pet App for the, I don't know, 10th time and see if it works. So we're going to upload our own image. And I'm going to come in my file selector and I took a screenshot of the app I tried before. I have not tried this one yet. And we're going to go to next. And then this is where the AI model gets into play. And look at all this cool stuff it did. It pre-selected a lot of tags.
Is this further than you got before?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is exciting.
Yes.
So you can see in my image, what I was trying to do here is add as many different component types as I could and see what happened. And I can see that they've already trained the model a little smarter than it was when I was troubleshooting with the Microsoft engineering team earlier this week because the date picker wasn't recognized. And I believe this awesome app was entered into the AI model to help you have a better AI experience. So I threw a lot of buttons at the top just to see if it worked as a button, and somehow it recognized that my save, home, new, and submit are all buttons, which is really cool. It's got my text labels here. You can see it got this one wrong. So type is the text label, and then we have a checkbox. So it's really easy to change these. Now I'm gonna just move it over. So type is its own. And then I'm gonna zoom in because this is being very picky. So then I'm just gonna draw this new field over cat. And actually, I think we're gonna need to do this a little separately. So the checkbox should be its own and the label should be something else, right, Kylie? You think?
I'm not sure. I'm only not sure because it selected all of them. Well, let's do.
Here we go.
We can do it both ways. Try it out, see what happens. Oh, hey, instructions.
Documentation. It's under the guidance tab.
How unexpected.
All right. Okay, so that tells us we're going to draw it all the way over. And now we have to assign the components. So anything that didn't come over automatically from your drawing, you're going to select from here. They don't have all field types. Like there's no option or choice field, right? That's not something that's supported right now, but hopefully it'll be added, which is interesting because I tried to add a choice field here. So we'll make this one a checkbox. And then we can see it missed birth date. So we're going to highlight that with a box. And this one is text. But now I'm zoom. Oh, no. I zoomed the wrong way. Sorry.
Wrong one. Wrong one. There you go.
We'll make that a text label. So it's looking good. It's looking good.
And our text input.
This one is not good. So let's redraw. You can see I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was just trying to be like, all right, option set. But
yeah, how do you, I don't even know. I don't know how you're supposed to draw that. So I can understand why they didn't pick it.
Yeah, yeah. And I also didn't dive into this. I figure I like to learn by doing, right? Let's just draw this, scan it, and see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
So one of the things that I see that happens is that a choice field is not supported in this model.
Right.
So we'll just keep it as a text and ignore the rest.
That's fine.
And I put the star rating because I know the star rating is supported and I wanted to see if it automatically detected, which it did not, but that's okay.
I saw that there, but that's crazy.
It's pretty cool. It's interesting that was supported and choices is not. So I think we're done. You can hover over everything here. And again, if something came over incorrectly, you would simply click on that box and then you could change it. And then we go to next. And now we have to talk about data, right? Are we going to create a new table in Dataverse or is it going to be something else? So those are your two options at this stage. Create a new table in Dataverse or skip it. Now, what I'm curious about is what if I have to hook this up to an existing table in Dataverse? Because I don't really have that as an option.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the skip for now, right? And then once you're in the app, then you'd connect it to an existing data source, right? Which would be the same if you wanted it to run off of SharePoint or something like that too, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because as you pointed out on that benefits area, this supports all of the Power Automate connectors, which gives you a lot of options for your database.
Yeah.
Do you want to create a new table or skip it?
Let's create a new table. I want to see what kind of field names they come up with. Is this in a solution? What's my publisher? These are my questions.
These are awesome questions because I haven't found a way from make.powerapps.com to create a solution first and then add this to it. So I'm going to say it's not going to create a publisher, but we'll see.
So are they all going to be new underscore? Gross. We disagree.
I hope it's not new underscore. All right, so here's our guidance. Each tag corresponds to a data column. Take a moment to draw new tags, change tags, or remove them. When tagging columns, most of the time you'll draw a tag around two things, the label and what the user enters data into. All right, so it did pet name type. We just have to expand our type a bit.
But the type is going to be 4 columns, right?
Ooh, that's.
They're going to be checkboxes.
That's a great.
So I think you might just want to highlight the. I think you might just want to highlight like each of the checkbox and cat, like we did same on the other app, right?
I don't know, but then we'd lose our label for the field.
Is the
let's
label
try.
going to be, well, yeah, I don't know if that label would be in the
Why don't we
app
try
or,
both? That would be fun.
yeah.
So we can try type with those three.
And then put the other separate, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And birth date, it skipped, so we'll add that. So maybe a best practice that we're already seeing is maybe space out your fields a little more than I did, because it is missing things.
Right. Which you see the same thing with like AI Builder.
Yep.
Which is interesting. This is kind of the same kind of thing you're walking through, tagging in the same way. So it's interesting.
So here's what we've got. We've got pet name is text, type is number. So that's not right. How do I change that? Hey, we click into it. There we go. It's CR578 underscore as our publisher.
So the default solution publisher.
At least it's not new. So this is interesting. What would you assign that column type to? Because we created these as checkboxes, but there's no yes, no column type.
That is a good question.
I guess we'll do text for now and see what happens.
Yeah, check for your other. Oh, what happened to our other?
What did happen to our other? And our birthday. Oh, look at that. Okay, problem number one, right? All of these, pet name, type, text, favorite toy, they automatically came over. We added birth date, and when we put that box around it, my display name is text1. I think that's an important thing to note. So you can't just draw your box. You have to
also give it a name.
Yep. Oh, annoying thing number 2 was just discovered. When you type your display name, it doesn't update your schema name. So you have to do it twice. If I do it from Dataverse first, that's not true.
Interesting. But it did have date there as an option. Okay. And if we select our other, that's not, yeah, I guess the checkbox isn't showing up ever, or yes, no isn't showing up ever as an option. Even if I was thinking, oh, is it because of how this field looks that it's not? Interesting.
The save didn't seem to do anything, by the way. I made all these changes and I click save. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
But it still says text1. Well, it looks saved here, but it didn't update here. Okay, I feel like this table properties thing is important. That's creating the name of the table, and it defaulted to the name of my app, which is probably not the same thing that I would want.
Yeah, but it's interesting, and it's interesting you can't see the other table properties here. Specifically, what I'm thinking of is the stuff you can't change after you create it, like if it's organization owned or user owned, if it's that kind of stuff, right?
So this again is in preview, which means they will continue to iterate and make it better. And maybe some of these things that we're finding can help them make it better.
Yeah.
Let's click next and see what happens. Oh, look, it didn't work. Take one final look. So updating birth date, even though we did that and we updated the type, it's still okay. Oh, wait, there's birth date.
Then what's that one?
That's a great question.
Oh, it's your pet name. How good is your pet? Your star rating.
Right. Well, I wonder why that didn't get goodness. I mean, they're all going to get 5 stars. So we will have to do that in number field in order to get the star rating. Great. All right. So we've learned it's very important to update these, and your data type is not always going to come over properly. All right, let's hit create and see what happens.
The check. It's interesting to see how. I feel like the first step where it was analyzing your form for the app is almost separate from that second step of analyzing what it should create in Dataverse, right? I don't think it was necessarily taking our input from step 1 into step 2, you know?
That's a good point. Maybe it's just because step 2 has limited support.
Right.
Limited column types available. But so does step 1. This is so fascinating.
Right.
So this clearly
is really cool.
A little bit of time to create our app. in that announcement blog, I think it was like 3 minutes long, and she was so happy when she built her app. She just took a picture of it and boom, app was made. So what do you think of it so far, Kylie?
I mean, this is, if it does even like 10% of what it says it does, it's really interesting. What I'm thinking about now too is I wonder if we can combine this with like forms processing, right? So build my forms processing model and then just take a picture of my form again and submit that to build the app, connect it to a data source later, and my data source will be the forms processing model.
Ooh, that's really interesting.
I think that would be interesting. I think I need to update a presentation that I have.
Here.
Oh,
Welcome.
look at your star rating.
Oh, look at the errors.
Oh.
Well, team.
I was just like, look, the stars worked.
I mean, there's buttons. There's a date picker. It is not pretty. Yeah.
We tried.
Well, I mean, this was a really good start. Hey, look, type came over as checkboxes. However,
they're just not going to save anywhere.
So checkboxes are cool. That worked. Date. Favorite toy. This form isn't connected to any data. Well.
That's interesting. And a couple of our labels are still
text. You're right.
Text. A little odd.
Yes, it is. However, the data field pulled over properly. It says birth date. Well, I think we've learned a lot in this first journey.
Yeah.
It's a preview item. It's being worked on. And I don't think it's ready for mainstream use just yet.
Right. But I mean, most of the issues we saw were in that creating a new Dataverse table, which I think both of us, well, at least I would recommend you're always creating in a solution before this to make sure you're setting up everything the way you want it to be. And then, so I think if we did this for next time, I think if we did this with the connecting to a data source later, I think that I'd feel more comfortable with that option. But it looks like a lot of this stuff around the text fields, the label and the field, those came in well, your buttons. I think it's a good place to start with simple apps, right?
Take some of the heavy lifting. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I would skip the create a Dataverse table because, like you pointed out, that's not a best practice way to create a Dataverse table anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how would you rate this from 1 to 5 stars, Kylie?
How many stars? I think for a preview feature that we're playing with and was literally announced last week, I'm going to say, I think I'm going to give it 4 stars.
I was thinking the exact same because even though this part was a little frustrating, I agree a lot of it was because of Dataverse. We still took a picture and uploaded it and had a canvas up in like
super cool.
A few minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, let us know in the comments below if you've tried this, if you've created anything, what you think about this, if you found anything else that's not working as expected, and how excited you are from 1 to 5 stars. And catch us next time for more power tips.